Second language learning 6 groups. Now, if second language learning strategies are so important, then the researchers need to sort of see what the strategies are, what are the different types of strategies, and make sense of them and put them under some sort of framework so they can sort of teach the learners those strategies or research those strategies. This is an exceptionally difficult task because there is such a vast variation of strategies used by the second language learners. However, we have Oxford 1990 who divides the learners' strategies into 6 groups. The first group relates to cognitive strategies. So cognitive strategies used by second language learners are strategies which enable the learners to make sense of the material by actually consciously paying attention to what is out there, noticing the structure of the language, reasoning, making sense of it, note-taking, synthesizing, that is trying to see what does the overall thing actually mean, analyzing how is something said in a second language and how is it understood. These are cognitive strategies. Second group is that of metacognitive strategies. Now, what are metacognitive strategies? These mean that they allow the learner to manage their own learning. Now, when we talk about evaluating whether a strategy is working or not, this itself is a metacognitive strategy. We try to understand what are our needs, what are our learning styles, which way do we learn that seems to be more helpful. That in any case, this managing of all the learning process relates to metacognitive strategies. Then there are some memory-related strategies. Aspects of language are aspects which really need to be learned. So memory strategies are that we try to link one item of the second language to our first language. One concept to a concept we know in our own culture. Now, interestingly, when we talk about memory strategies, this might not involve deep processing. That is, let me give you this example of Quran, for instance. When you recite Quran and the children, for instance, learn a specific verse, they don't necessarily know the meaning of that verse. Or for that sake, think of like the small nursery rhymes that the children learn. They learn it by somehow thinking about this rhyming thing itself also makes them think one word leads to the other word, and they think of how everything comes together in a little lyric or a song or a poem, but they don't really understand what it means. So they can think about the key words, they can think about images, or any other way. So these are memory-related strategies. Then second language learners also employ what we say compensatory strategies. Compensatory strategies are strategies which you use when you do not have a full control over the second language. So you try to make some sense of what is out there. You guess the meaning from the context. You are talking to somebody and you try to make sense of what the person is saying on the basis of the gestures that person is using, the facial expressions, the context itself, and this roundabout way of speaking, which is called circumlocution. By that, you actually try to explain your own meaning. So you don't have full control, but you use certain kind of compensatory strategies. The fifth group of strategies that the learners use are affective or emotional strategies. In these strategies, the learners are fully aware of their own emotional states. So you cannot possibly learn a language if you're not interested, you're bored, you feel overburdened. So these strategies are strategies that the learners use to control their mood. And they think about how to reward themselves once they learn a task, and they how to keep motivating themselves. These are effective strategies. And the last group is what we call social strategies. Social strategies simply would mean learning language via interaction with other people. So you practice using language with either a more proficient second language learner or a native speaker if you are in that context, and then you try to understand the target culture. In any case, this practicing of language, this attempt to understand how the second language is used within a culture, are called social strategies.